Butt, feeling like a weenie, but now it's 5:30. It's time for our martini. Welcome to our show. Welcome to our Kiki, the 5:30 Quarantini. Hello, and welcome to the 5:30 Quarantini. My name is Michael Hull.
I'm Dylan Bustamante.
And this is going to be a good time.
It's going to be a great time. I can't wait.
Thursday. Happy hour.
Thursday.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Michael?
I'm good. You know those days where you're just 5 minutes behind yourself always?
Yes.
This is the first time I've been on time for anything, and that's only because we have a theme song, and when the theme song is over, I have to be here.
That is very true.
It's been a hectic day. So all that to say, I definitely need a happy hour cocktail.
Yes, I absolutely need a happy hour cocktail today. I feel very similar to you today, Michael. I feel like I've just been trying to catch up all day.
Yeah.
I woke up later than I ever have woken up in a very long time today, and ever since then I haven't been able to get back on the track.
Well, this is it. We're always starting over, in the words of
Adina
Menzel, and this is it. This is, we can never go back to before, but we can start over right
and
here.
And we're
right
very
now.
Synchronized today.
We're synchronized, says the Broadway whiz herself. Hi, Joy. Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Dylan, I'm so excited about this show. Our guest bartender today, he and I met doing, those gigs you do in a barn, in a field, in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, of course. I spent so many of my summers on a lake in the middle of nowhere of Maine.
Yeah, we did some, what I'm going to call regional barn theater.
Regional barn theater.
Yeah, and now he stars in literally one of my favorite Broadway shows ever. So I'm so excited to see him.
I know, same.
Today. And also, girl, this drink we're about to make, I'm thrilled.
Roselle.
I am thrilled. Hello, Robbie Roselle. So without further ado, what do you say we jump in and get
Let's
this
jump on
episode?
in, because we all need a cocktail today. It is Thursday, January 28th.
Oh, thank you for the time.
It is almost, what am I supposed to be like Cuomo? Today is January 28th.
And wear a mask and make sure you social distance. And I'm really great. Yeah, no, you're a Cuomo in training. When they do the stage adaptation, I'm rooting for you. You guys, our guest bartender today stars in Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations as Melvin Franklin. Before that, you guys, I'm gagged about this. I didn't put this together in my head until I was doing my research. Before that, he starred on Broadway in Motown The Musical as Melvin Franklin. So as far as I'm concerned, he is the official gatekeeper of all things bass and Temptations and Melvin Franklin on Broadway.
He hails from Michigan, where he actually began his career as a radio personality for Detroit's top radio station. And now he's a Grammy Award nominated vocalist, a recording artist, and we're about to check out his bartending skills.
We sure are. So let's take a look at today's guest bartender, the man with the killer smile and those silky smooth low notes. It's Jawan Jackson.
Let me tell you what I wished I known when I was young and dreamed of glory. You have no control. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story. I know that we can win. I know that greatness lies in you. But remember, from here on in, history has its eye on you. Sunshine on a cloud. when it's cold outside. I've got the month of May. Well, I guess you say, what can make me feel this way? It's my girl, talking about my girl. I can turn the gray sky blue. I can make it rain whenever I want to. Oh, I can build a castle from a single grain of sand. I can make a ship sail on dry land. But my life is incomplete and I'm so blue. 'Cause I can't get next to you. Can't get next to you. Can't get next to you.
Yes, Jawan Jackson.
Oh my God. I loved watching you watch that. That was very great for us.
I wasn't ready. I was not ready, y'all. I didn't know what was coming.
Oh my God, it's so funny. First of all, that's gotta be the most versatility we've ever shown in one reel. From like narrator Joseph vibes with that children's choir and that high voice to like bass on Broadway. Girl, you do it all.
You
I
do.
haven't even drank anything yet. God.
We're so excited to have you today. Thanks for joining us. Where are you coming to us from today?
Coming from you from New York. I've been in New York in my apartment here.
Work. Are you part of the like team New York that's been here the whole time that just kind of hunkered down and went for it?
I have not.
So you've been moving
I started
around.
my first time traveling. Well, I had my niece this past summer, and she stayed with me until August, and then I traveled back home to August. In August there, and then I went to Mexico like everybody else.
Work.
I went to Tulum, and that was my vacation. So
I love Tulum.
yeah, I've been here up until probably 3 weeks ago.
Awesome. Well, welcome back.
Yes, welcome back.
Welcome back to New York. Step number 1. Step number 2, we need Broadway to reopen so you can be back where you really belong, which is on stage.
Yes, at the Imperial Theater.
In the Imperial Theater, in the show that I weeped through the last 20 minutes of. It's not a sad ending, but I was just uncontrollably sobbing through the entire ending of Ain't You Proud. You guys, if you haven't seen it yet, put it on your list. Make it your first thing you see when Broadway reopens. It is so good. And Jawan, it marks the second time that you've played Melvin Franklin on Broadway.
Okay, after this, I'm going to retire unless they offer me a movie deal for him. Then I'm like, I'll take it and then retire it.
Listen,
I'm here for that.
I'm here for that. If you're out there and you're watching this and you're a movie producer, we've got the Melvin Franklin for you. We're ready for that feature film. I want to hear all about it. We've got questions. We've got so much to catch up on. I'm so excited to see you. But first things first, this is a happy hour broadcast.
Well, let's make it
she
happy hour
is
right now.
empty. So, Jawan, what is your drink of choice on this Thursday happy hour?
My drink of choice is one of my favorite drinks. One of my favorite restaurants in New York City is Brazil, and on 46th Street. And so we always go there before the show, after the show, in between the show to get our favorite drink.
at intermission for a quick, listen.
Caipirinha, yeah.
Go get us a caipirinha. So that is what we're going to do today. My version, my take on it. And I'm excited about it. So.
Amazing. So I think Dylan and I think have everything, but before we get going, will you just run through your ingredients so that we can make sure we've got everything ready to go?
Yes. So you're going to need some limes and some mint.
Got it.
If you have on hand, which you don't, if you don't need it, but it's a muddler. And then you need some sugar in the raw. I feel nasty saying it. You need some sugar in the raw. Raw cane sugar, and then a Sprite. I like to top it off with Sprite. Some people use seltzer water if you be healthy.
It's a pandemic. That ship has sailed.
And then this is now I always butcher this name.
Lebanon, right?
Yeah, so Lebanon, but it's a Brazilian tequila almost, so essentially.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had this before.
It's smooth.
It's so good.
Yeah, I looked it up and they were like, it's like tequila, but a little sweeter and a little smoother. And I was like,
yeah, absolutely.
Great, let's go get the bottle. All right. Well, if that's everything we need, it looks like we've got it. So why don't we get a mix in? Let us know what we're doing.
All right. So I always start with my limes first. So I'll put my limes in the bottom.
Okay.
And then put the mint in.
Great. I'm gonna slice a lime here. Is that like? Do you have a half a lime in there or a full lime?
Slices.
All right, Gorge.
Yeah, I got
to mix once you muddle it, just to kind of like loosen up the juices and everything. And then you just add your sugar on top of it after you got it all in.
And how much sugar do you think that we need for this one?
I mean, it really depends on you, but like I don't put too much to drink, and because the Sprite actually makes it sweet, sweeter.
Gotcha.
So,
Right.
It's not much needed.
I'm gonna do roughly, that much.
Yeah. Just go ahead and get to work.
I love that your cup and your muddler are sponsored by this liquor that we are using.
Christmas one year, so it's just been here.
I was gonna say you're available for sponsorships. Come on, Leblon.
Of course.
Smelling good already. I love muddled lime and mint.
So that once you muddle that mint, that it kind of releases those oils and that aroma from the leaves. Really, really great.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I like to do is I'm a lush, so I put more than I'm supposed to in the. Then I just take it, kind of put an ice cube in a shaker and kind of keep going.
Where's my Kashaga? I'm losing my mind.
Ooh, yeah. I love that sound.
Right?
How much is too much? I think, oh my God, this smells like
good.
unlike anything I've ever smelled before. That's like alcohol. It's like so sweet.
I'm telling you, it's the best of it.
All right, I'm shaking it up.
I'm so into this.
Yeah.
Oh wow! All right, let's see.
And then just
you made that so fast. You have done this before. You are a professional.
I don't be playing. I bought during the quarantine. I went and I started experimenting with all types of liquors and alcohol. So my bar is nice and full, and
there you go.
Drink list is extensive.
That is, we've been doing this is 100 and some episodes for us, so we've been on the same train. Every time someone introduces us to a new liquor, we're like, all right, go grab it, stick it on the bar. Nathan's asking, what is it called again? The tequila. This is Leblon. Let's see.
Leblon, but it's
Kashaka.
Kashaka.
It's a Kashaka liquor, but the brand that we're drinking is Leblon. And the brand that we're drinking, I haven't tasted it yet, but I'm ready when you boys are.
And we're not getting by them, but we go get it, y'all.
All right, cheers. Let's see.
Cheers.
Oh my God.
That is perfect.
Wait, that tastes like juice. This is not. I feel like I'm being punked. I feel like this isn't even boozy.
You gotta watch out, Michael, because
this is what happens when we drink them at Brazil. You drink so many because they're so good, and then halfway through the show, you're like, "Whoa, there it is." You're like, "All right, come on, three more things left. Come on, make it, get it together."
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I could see how these would be very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
But wow, that is tasty.
So delicious.
Freshen your breath afterwards. The mix good. It's all good. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh my God, I love it. Well, cheers to happy hour. I'm so excited. And this is a bop. I also, if it's as strong as I think it is, this is going to be an interesting hour ahead of us. But I can't wait.
We're all here together.
So as we mentioned, Jawan, you were doing Ain't Too Proud when Broadway came to a close on Broadway. And, we're coming up on 10 months of a shutdown, which is unprecedented, which is super wild. how have you been? I know you've been traveling a little bit. You've done a little vacation, a little self-care. How are you feeling in this time of not being able to kind of really be at your job?
You know what? I feel really, really great.
Good.
I really do. And I know some people be like, "Oh, I know you." I'm like, yeah, it sucks, but like, work for me honestly has not stopped.
Yeah.
You know, the shutdown happened, and then I felt like last year, thankfully, you know, I just can't continue to work, and I continue to like. I was doing online courses. I was doing benefits, and I was doing, you know, master classes, and I was, you know, and I got a lot of auditions. Like I filmed a movie in November. Like I've been doing all kinds of things, and I've not stopped working. I have not. Yeah. You know, the last 2 weeks ago, a video came out of the Wiggles, and I don't know if you guys heard of them.
Oh, have we heard of them?
And so I got to like sing the lead on a Wiggles song for their 30th anniversary. You know,
I think we do have a special clip of this that the producers press team sent over that we'll play in just a minute. By the way, the Wiggles have gotten real fancy lately. I remember when the Wiggles started, and they were like 4 guys, and
it's their 30th anniversary. Over
the years, over a 30-year span, you know, it's just like the Temptations. There's been a lot of members that came and gone.
Yeah. Wait a minute. The Wiggles are the new Temptations. I can't wait for.
I call them the new Temptations.
It's going to be called Fruit Salad: The Life and Times of the Wiggles. And it's coming to Broadway in 2025. And Jawan M. Jackson is going to play Melvin Franklin again because he's in every musical.
Melvin Franklin introduces the Wiggles.
Yes. So before we get to this clip, how did this come to be? Like, did the Wiggles just call you up and they're like, "We have this song we want you want"?
Were you a big Wiggles fan already?
Okay, yeah, I was a Wiggles fan already, but it's just a very interesting way it came to be. So when we were doing our out of town run, we went to LA, Toronto, and DC. And so they were on tour at the time in Toronto, and they came and they sat in the front row. And so before I even knew who they were, I was just like, I know these guys look familiar. You know how you can look at someone, like, I just can't pin it. So I'm doing my moves. I'm like, why do I know them?
Oh my God.
It wasn't until after the show, you know, they posted on Instagram that as everyone does, you know, it's like, you know, the Wiggles. I was like, oh my God, the Wiggles were right in front of me. So I was performing for them. And so then they ended up, James Harkness ended up like linking up with them. Mm-hmm. James, over our break, coming into Broadway in Toronto, James Harkness ended up having a whole show. They offered him his own special. So he did Le James Cafe first in Australia. So he went to
Amazing.
Australia.
Oh my gosh.
And he had a whole season of just, you know, only his stuff. And then when Broadway opened, they came back again to visit, and they were like, you know, Anthony, who's the head Wiggle, he just basically was like, I love you, Jawan. Oh, whatever. So last summer, he ended up reaching out to me and said, hey, I have this great idea. I want you to be involved in it. We're remaking Fruit Salad. I would love to have you on there. And, you know, our other castmate, Taylor, because he just loved Taylor's and I's connection and energy. He was like, I want to work with you and Taylor and create something with you guys. And this is what happened.
I am so obsessed. When I came to see you guys on Broadway, I sat behind Anna Wintour, and I thought that was a big deal. But little did I know, the Wiggles had already seen you out of town, in town. We, of course, had to cut a little clip just so we could share the wonder of the revamped Fruit Salad with everybody. So before we go any further, I think we have to cut to that. Let's take a look at the new 30th anniversary Wiggles Fruit Salad music video.
I was dreaming that we were all fruit salad. All the colors of the rainbow, and the bowl was the world. It's not just one fruit that makes a fruit salad. It takes all different kinds of fruit to make a perfect bowl. And we're all fruit salad. Yummy, yummy. All in the same bowl.
Okay, I'm obsessed.
It's so good. It's so cheeky. I love it. It's for kids. I was like, whatever, let's get it.
I love it. Oh my God, that is so funny. And now you're on televisions all over the world doing the fruit salad.
Doing the fruit salad. I bet you that's what I'm gonna be known for now. They're like, hey, that's you the guy from fruit
Aren't
salad.
you the fruit salad guy? No. Listen, if you're gonna be known for anything, I think I've made it clear. You are Broadway's Melvin Franklin. My mind is blown about this thing, which leads me to this question. When did you book Motown?
I booked Motown before I moved to New York, so in 2012.
So you've effectively been playing Melvin Franklin for what, almost 9 years now?
Years, yeah.
Do you feel like your take on Melvin Franklin has grown or changed? Do you feel very close to him? Is there anything in Ain't Too Proud that you look at now and you're like, obviously they're different shows, different scripts, different stories, but is there anything in Ain't Too Proud now that you look at that you're like, oh man, this is like, I would have done something in Motown maybe differently had I had this whole experience with this character of Melvin? Like what's it been like to really play such an iconic voice and an iconic musician for so long in the public eye?
It's actually a great honor to even have the privilege to do that. In Motown, I was just able to only give like a piece of Melvin. It's not just, I was just like, Melvin came in and out so fast, but what was consistent throughout was the voice that everybody knew so well. And so Motown, it was more so about my voice than his story. And then, Ain't Too Proud, I get to showcase my voice and his story and merge the two together, which I love so much. And it's beautifully told by Dominique Morso, who wrote our story, along with, the stories based on Otis Williams' book. And so I get to, just tell that. And like now, I feel like I'm a part of the family, like to Melvin's wife, who I talk to often, to his daughter, who I talk to often. Uncle Otis and I FaceTime every so often, and he'll call me, he'll text me memes and everything. And so like, I feel like I'm so much like ingrained. And then to hear Otis Williams, who was our last living Temptation, say to me often, he was like, Melvin would have been proud of you, and I'm so proud of what you're doing and how you're carrying his legacy. And so that's just the greatest honor for me, just to get that type of approval to somebody who was his best friend and have known him more than anybody would, So it's been fun.
That's great. So cool. And I'm sure that's right. I'm sure he would be proud. The show is such a triumph. And your performance, you're the second one in. Right after Derek starts the band, they go and they fetch you. You're like second one in, and then you're there for a while. No spoilers.
Whole 2 hours and 45 minutes of the show. Every dance number. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to like that endurance that you have to have in that show. Because Sergio, he didn't do, the Temptations was smooth but now because it's Broadway, you got to kind of step it up. And I'm like, okay, you got to dancing and singing and acting and then coming off stage, wiping my face and be back on like nothing happened. It's a challenge. So that's another reason why I'm like, thank you for the break, y'all.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can imagine. I remember leaving and being like, those boys are working. I said, not that I'm in charge, but I would like to be. If I was in charge, I would have given you all the Tony Award for Best Leading in a Musical, made it a whole ensemble, gets one Tony Award for like just being in it in the trenches for 2.5 hours straight, working as one. It's mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing.
The way that you guys get to work as one cast and one band, even as, if you haven't seen the musical, and you will, even as people kind of come in and come out and the story shifts and the story grows, it always comes back to how people are working together. And it's so inspiring to watch you guys make your way through the show as a core of artists.
Yeah. It's truly an ensemble show because everybody individually has their own time to shine in some point in the show. And then we all, like you said, we come together and like we're pushing. It's the story is always moving. The show is moving from the treadmill that's on the stage to the spinning circle. It's just everything is just moving, constantly moving in and out, in and out.
Yeah, and it's so seamlessly done that like when we got to intermission, the first time I saw the show, I was like, how is it already like 9:45? You know what I mean? I was like, it just goes, it's so seamless and so beautifully done that it just flies by. It's such a great show. So I can't wait to see it again.
Yeah, and I would say, I would actually recommend, if you're watching and you, if you have seen the show, this is a double-edged sword, what I'm about to say, but the cast recording is brilliant in a way because they've incorporated so much of the book into the cast recording. So if you haven't seen the show, maybe I don't recommend this because you really need to go see it because it's that good. But if you have seen the show, the cast recording is such a treat because especially in this time where so much theater is dark, you can kind of like sit down, put on the cast recording, pour yourself a glass of wine, and like the cast recording will kind of lead you through the show again. And it's just such a cool experience. So yeah, in this time where we can't see theater, make your own theater. Who knows? Well, I don't know if you could tell, but Dylan and I are big fans of the show. We were playing it really cool. We're being very subtle today. It's a new thing we're trying.
When people know who you are and have seen your work, so you can have something to talk about, you know, instead of being like, well, I read up on it. Now tell me what I'm like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, Jawan, we've seen your work. I've seen your work from Westchester, New York, all the way to Broadway.
Talk about that because you mentioned that I forgot.
Yes, what barn was this? What show was this?
We did
a production.
We did a production of
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh,
and Jawan was the one with the really low voice.
And Caiaphas, yeah.
Caiaphas, yes.
It was a good time.
Who were you, Michael?
I have no idea. I don't remember at all. I was somebody else. I sang a duet with Mary Magdalene.
You're Peter. Peter?
Sure. Yeah, I was probably Peter. That makes sense.
Peter?
Nobody
Could
knows.
you start again, please? That one?
Yeah. That's what I sang. There we go.
I know
made it.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
You still have the DVD that we got from it?
Dude, I have the DVD?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, I have it. It's somewhere in the other room.
Yeah, I have that too. And sometimes I just refer to it like, oh, goodness. I'll look at it like, let me just leave that there.
How long ago was that?
Like 4 years, 5 years?
Yeah, 4 or 5 years now.
Okay.
Listen, everybody's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah. It's fun.
It was a good time. Well, from all the way from Jesus Christ Superstar to Ain't Too Proud, we are going to use this as a jumping point into today's game of the day. Today's game of the day is inspired by the musical Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Time of the Temptations, which Jawan M. Jackson stars in on Broadway. Here's how the game works. Jawan, in the show, you get to sing all of those amazing, iconic Temptations songs. Today, all we're going to do is ask you to name some of those songs. So the way we've done it is I've taken 10 of my favorite Temptations tracks, and I'll be playing them for you. The catch is I will be playing them backwards. All you have to do is figure out what the song is that I'm playing, and let me know what it is for the point. Are you ready to play? Name that Sonoyet song.
Yes.
Temptations backwards.
Yeah, that's Temptations backwards, Dylan. What are you, new?
I thought it was an acronym. I don't know.
No, that would be a backwards Temptations. All right, let's...
No pressure.
Let's see. No pressure. It's all fun. But if you screw it up, you're going to have to listen to the cast recording a few more times and get yourself ready for the show.
So cast recording, or is it just a Temptation, their recorded version of it?
These are the Temptations recorded versions.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Of songs.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
That should make maybe a little bit easier. But okay, so famously, because Michael made today's game, I am on your team. I don't know what's going on. So we are on this team together. Also, the audience is on our team. So there's like a 10-second delay. So what I always say is if you don't know what it is, maybe just like look pensive, like you're thinking for 10 seconds until someone probably will say it in the comments.
Okay.
Someone will help you out. But also I have faith in you. We'll see. I don't know.
I have faith in you as well. I think between you and I and everyone at home, we should be good.
Between the two of you and the Temptations.
Audience and then this drink, we got it.
Yes. Yeah. We'll just keep drinking this kashaka until till we get the answer.
It's going to be great. Let's start right off the bat with this one. Here is your first Name That Backwards Temptations track.
Rolling Stone.
All right, this is gonna be easier than I thought. Can't fool the man. Can't fool the man that's been playing a Temptation for 8.5 years straight. All right, you are 1 for 1 in name that backwards Temptation song. I'm second guessing all my choices. Let's see if any of these are hard. Here comes your next backwards Temptation song.
Right?
Yes.
Look out, baby, 'cause here I come. They are just this music is the best.
So good.
So timeless. It's so timeless.
It is. That's exactly right. So timeless. Mm-hmm. All right, you're 2 for 2. Cannot
this
be
is going
stumped.
Great. I can just sit here and drink. It's gonna be
Dylan,
good.
you can take a break. Clock out. Here comes question number 3. If you're just joining, we're playing Name That Backwards Temptation song. And here it is. I think you said it. What is it?
You get next to you.
Can turn the gray sky blue. Get rain whenever I wanted to.
So good. I'm warming down into the low notes today.
What was that? What was that line that you say in that one?
I can make it rain whenever I want to.
Oh,
work.
That's
so good. All right. Well, we're breezing through this game.
Yeah.
3 for 3. The stakes could not be higher. Let's see if we can make it a perfect game. Here comes your next one. Should I do these in a different order? No, I'm just gonna stick with my guns. Let's see. Here comes your next backwards Temptation song. Yeah. This one almost sounds the same backwards.
it does.
That would be. So good. All right, you're 4 for 4. Oh my God, this is making me miss the show even more than I think I was when we started this.
You know, hearing these songs make my body hurt. I'm like,
and I'm like, are your limbs just like involuntarily moving into?
Yeah, I'm picking up the moves automatically. And I'm like, oh, I know how to do this now.
Well, you're welcome. Consider this a put-in rehearsal.
Right.
We're getting ready for Broadway's return.
Yeah,
which,
send
God,
to your
we
company
hope
manager
soon.
these hours. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. All right. That is 4 for 4. Let's
4 for
see.
4. Wow.
Yeah.
You're doing we've
quick.
done this game with a few people with a few like popular musicals before, and you are right on it.
Yeah. All right. Here comes number 5. Oh my God, I'm thrilled. What'd you say?
Will it rain?
It's not Will It Rain. It is.
Does anybody have?
Does anyone in the comments have a guess? I'm going to play it one more time.
Yeah.
Michael, was this cut out of town? What is this?
No, these are all actual Temptations. None of this is the Broadway cast.
Right.
Layla says this has no business sounding so good backwards. You're right. It sounds really good forwards and backwards. I will say, in my opinion, the second half of this is more helpful than the first half.
Okay.
So I'm going to play it one more time. And then there's like a walking bass line that I think is pretty fierce. Oh, I'm thrilled.
What is it?
Let me think. You know, you might not remember this because it comes rather late in the show. and especially if you've had a cocktail, it might be. It's almost the way out. It is.
Oh,
Come on, finale realness.
You know what? I've actually never heard this version of the song ever. I've only heard our version.
Oh.
Well,
Wow,
there it is.
okay.
That is what becomes of the brokenhearted. Christopher Metzger Timson was with you, though. He said, "Is it the Rain song?"
It did kind
Not
of sound like the Rain song.
Well, keep that one locked away
Yeah.
for now. But yeah, that's the finale. I mean, I get it. It's been a long show at that point. Let's see. All right, the score is me 1. You guys like 5. Okay, here comes your next Temptations backwards song. Can you name it? Here it comes.
Wait. Is it My Girl?
I guess you say what can make
Yeah.
me feel this way, my girl, talking about
Yep, that
my
is,
girl.
of course, My Girl.
Girl.
Well done. If you didn't get it by the end, I had a feeling that end is that dead giveaway, that little
Right.
it
It
musical
was.
part.
That's what I figured it out.
There you go. Nailed it.
I figured it out. Go me.
You nailed it. Jawan, you're lapping us in this drink, it looks like.
I want to sip slow. I know I pour it real heavy, so I just need to remind myself.
Hey, and as I say on the show all the time, happy hour is only an hour. Soon these drinks are going to be full price again.
Yeah. You got to get the happy hour while you can.
Gotta get
Drinks
the
go back
happy
to
hour
full
special.
price soon.
Exactly.
All right, let's see. If you're just tuning in, these are backwards, Ain't Too Proud, the life and times of the Temptations songs, but they're just Temptation songs. I don't know why I said that. They're Temptation songs played backwards. We're trying to name them. So far, Broadway star Jawan M. Jackson from Ain't Too Proud has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, and I have fooled him 1 time. Here comes your next backwards Temptation song.
That's how it's doing.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, I wish it would rain.
That did nothing.
You knew it was coming.
Let it rain.
Oh, so good. I always forget that you have those high notes too.
One of I don't know, forget, I'm drawing a blank, but he's a Broadway star. Fred Monroe, he played Fred played in Smokey Joe's.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So he told me, he said, you want to always work in this business. And so don't ever let them take your high notes. Always
There you go.
say, if you're going to sing low, make sure you're doing something else that exercise the rest of your range so you can make sure that you can work after this. And so, I learned my lesson after Motown because I did not do that. And then I came out of Motown and I was struggling so much. I was like, oh, I can't sing nothing, So now I'm getting back to where I was.
Change back.
Yeah, training.
That's cool. I was gonna say, did you when you came to this business, when you came to theater, did you know you were gonna work so much because you had this super unique bass voice that people dream of having? Or were you just let's see what happens?
Yeah, I literally was like, let me just audition for this show. And I did. I didn't even know I was auditioning for a Broadway show, which is the interesting part of it. When I auditioned for Motown, I thought I was just auditioning for another show in Detroit. It's kind of like one of them Chitlin Circuit plays. And not to downplay any of those, but at the time I was doing this show called The Wiz of Motown. So, and then I'm like, oh, Motown, whatever I can do, let's try that, see what that's about. And so up until my last audition, up until I booked it, I didn't even know I had auditioning for a Broadway show.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Which was insane. I flew out to New York to audition. I had my first time auditioning was at Telsey, and still not knowing what it was for until when I booked it 2 days later.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you think it may have been like a little bit of a blessing to not know, just because like when you don't know what you're auditioning for, you're like, whatever, I'm gonna go in and like sing, do my thing. Absolutely. Do you think it was? Yeah, that's Absolutely. So funny.
It took all the pressure off. I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't know, because also since I was 12 years old, I always wanted to be on Broadway. That was like a dream of mine. Mm-hmm. And so like, just to have that come to fruition and happen, and not knowing I'm going through the process, that was just a divine intervention for me. Because I was like, I would have put too much pressure on myself to get it right and make sure I was perfect. And I just went in there just being myself and just like, I'm just gonna give what I have, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, oh well, I'm gonna go back to my 9-to-5 job that I have that I like. And I'm doing what I love to do anyway. So I don't win or lose, whatever. It's nothing.
Yeah. That's so cool. People always say, people are always like, oh, the ones you book are always the auditions you don't care about. Like, you got to learn to like throw it out. And it's always like, well, how am I supposed to not care about a Broadway callback? But if they don't tell you it's a Broadway callback, then half the work's done for you. That's amazing. All right. Well, that's another point for you in... What was that?
That's just a lesson in life. Take the pressure off,
Mm-hmm. For sure. All right. We got 3 more of these left. Let's see if I can stump you again. I'm not hopeful, but we're going to find out. Here comes your next Backwards Temptations song.
How did you get that?
Wait a minute. What I played for him was spooky ghost noises. Hold on, here it comes again. The spooky ghosts? And you got it. Oops, not that. Oh. This one. It was just my imagination running away with me. I'm very impressed that the spooky ghosts, you got it. All right, we got 2 more. Let's see. And unfortunately for me, I think the last 2 are they're big ones. So I think you're gonna be okay. But let's find out. Here comes your second to last Backwards song. How the house at Hebe House would of course be so good to me. Would of course be you make me want to shout backwards. Yes, that is absolutely right. He knows the spooky ghost.
I do. You're right.
Something that I loved so much about seeing Ain't You Proud, and something that I'm re-loving right now, is remembering these songs.
Oh my God.
Like throughout the entirety of the show, I was like, oh, I know this one. Oh, I know this one. Oh, I know this one. And I wasn't expecting that going into the show. Yeah. And now I'm just, even they're the backwards. I'm like, I know this one.
I think 45 something like that.
Yeah.
What did I look up today? It's 29 tracks on your cast album.
Right.
But in there you have a Supremes medley, you have some other medley stuff. Like it's a lot of music. And what's amazing about the Temptations is literally every song you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and this one too. It's like there's not a dud in the batch. It's like these guys knew what they were doing, just like turning out music.
Hit after hit after.
Well, last but not least,
I think I know what it is.
Do you? Do you think you know what it is? Let's see. Oh wait, I'm nervous. That ain't cute. Yeah, that's right. Okay, here we go. Yeah, of course. That is the title track.
Ain't You Proud?
I know you wanna leave me, but I refuse to let you go.
Gosh, this music is just too good.
I don't mind, 'cause you mean that much to me. Ain't too proud of me.
There it is. They said the title, so you know it's the show. Ain't You Proud? Let me check my scorecard here. That looks like it's a victory for Jawan M. Jackson from Broadway's Ain't You Proud? The Life and Times of the Temptations. Well done. You won my silly little game, and you won it with flying colors.
Honestly. What is that? Was there 10, Michael?
There were 10, and he got 9 of them.
9 out of 10.
with basically no information. He got them all in like the first 2 bars. I don't know. I mean, very impressive. Very impressive.
Very impressive.
Thanks, my drink.
Yes.
Also very impressive. Go you. I can't wait to make another one of these as soon as we're off the air. But before we can go off the air.
We've been picking good bartenders this month, Michael.
Dylan, our 2021 has been lit so far. Every person we've had on the show has been like ready to throw down. So I'm gonna work on this bottle a little bit later. But
I'm sure. I can't wait to see how much of it's gone tomorrow, Michael.
First things first, before we can let you go anywhere, we have 2 questions that we ask everybody on the show. They're the hard-hitting journalistic part of the show. And so it is your turn. My first question for you is, we've been facing about a 10-month Broadway shutdown. Times have been weird. We've been locked in our houses. We've been out of our houses. The world is a little better now with a new president in the White House. However, the world has been nuts. What is something that has brought you some joy in these last 10 months, in these last 10 really unprecedented months? What's something that's brought you some joy or kept you going or kept you feeling creative?
I was about to say, that is it. Being able to be creative and having the time to self-reflect and spend time with my family and to continue to do the things that I wouldn't have been able to do had I been in the show 8 times a week. And so I got to make music. I'm creating music. I'm creating, just like businesses, and I've created a scholarship and like stuff that is feeding my soul and like trying to give back. I love giving back to others. And so that's what's been helping me keep me, going.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
That's so incredible. And yeah, you're right. I mean, you've been pretty busy in pandemic. You've got a Christmas single out. You've been doing all sorts of stuff. So good for you. And
starring with the Wiggles now.
Starring with the Wiggles. Fruit salad, yummy, yummy.
Hey.
So yeah, I'm glad that has brought you joy, and in a way, the thing that's bringing you joy is re-inspiring other people as well.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
That's amazing.
Dylan, do you want to ask the second follow-up
Absolutely.
question?
So our second question is not to rush anything that's going on in the world right now. All of like the hurt and pain and suffering that the whole world is going through.
The mask wearing and the hand washing, and everyone keep doing it. We're not out yet.
Yes. But what are you looking forward to the most once we are fully out of this, which we will be very soon? Once we are fully out of this, what are you looking forward? What are you most looking forward to?
Being able to hug somebody and not feel scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm like, come here.
Yeah.
Hug. My love language is physical touch, one of my love languages. And so like, I just can't wait.
Oh, yeah. This is not your pandemic, huh?
Yeah, it's not.
Is it anyone's pandemic like?
I mean, listen, literally, Dylan, it's nobody's pandemic, but I do know a few introverts who are thriving, who are like, I've been home alone for 10 months. This is my best life.
Honestly, I'm an introvert extrovert. So like being at home, I'm okay with by myself. Like I can do this like well in spades. But sometimes it's like, all right, it's time. Get back out.
When you get that tickle that's like, I just want to go outside and bump into someone that I know. Like, I just want to walk down 8th Avenue and bump into somebody on their way to a show. Like, be like, hey girl, what are you seeing? I'm going over here. Oh, you're on your way to call time. Like, I miss that Broadway campus environment.
We used to play this fun game in the window of.
Oh God!
I'm gonna say it. We used to play this. We used to be a game for us while we would have some margaritas at Hell's Kitchen on 9th Avenue. We would see someone with a playbill in the street. We would sit in the window. Do you know what I'm talking about? Of Hell's Kitchen, by
the hotel. No.
This is so. First of all, we're gonna go there when Broadway reopens.
Yeah, if you don't know where this is,
come over one night after your show. But it's a Mexican bar on 9th Avenue, and the front of it like opens up. So if you sit at the bar, you are looking out the window onto 9th Avenue. But the whole which one?
9th and what?
9th between like 50th and 51st.
Okay.
It was like next to Vinyl, like that whole area. Yeah, but you can basically sit at a bar looking out onto the street. And so we used to sit there all the time, and you're facing the sidewalk, and the whole wall is open. So we would look at like people's pockets or purses to see if there was a playbill sticking out of it.
And we would call it playing what did you see? And we would just
yell, what did you see?
That's just kind of how our hosting started. Is we started it on 9th Avenue asking people what you see and what you thought of the show.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I just love it.
Be engaged.
Just screaming at people through windows and, asking how their day is going.
What I'm not looking forward to is like coming back to, once everything opens back up and then trying to readjust to the things that the pandemic wasn't good to, like the restaurants that are closed and are no longer there, and the things. So, that's when I'm just like, oh, this pandemic sucks because all my favorite spots are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And trying to figure out like what this new normal is going to be when we get down there and the climate and environment, and so we'll see.
I think it's going to take a minute, if not quite a few minutes, for New York to get back to its full bustling self. But I think we're resilient. I think
I have a lot of faith.
I have a lot of faith that people will bounce back, and people, we didn't end up in New York by accident. People who are in New York ended up here because we want to throw down. We are here to work hard, to play hard, and I think once they let us out of our cages again, I think that I think we will all rally to try to rescue our neighborhoods.
The Roaring 20s as they had, 100 years ago. They're coming back.
We'll see about the Roaring 20s. It's going to start with this cocktail. Jawan, thank you for spending some time with us, for spending happy hour with us today. I know that, in a pandemic, time is weird, and it means a lot that you came to spend an hour of yours with us today.
Absolutely.
Here's my question for you before you go.
Okay.
I know you started your career as a radio personality, and we also know that you are Broadway's smoothest, silkiest bass. Did you have a radio voice when you were on the radio?
I did-ish.
Did-ish?
Okay.
All right. So we've never asked someone to do this before, but I'm going to ask you to sign yourself off of today's show. So could you, in your radio voice, be like, I'm Jawan M. Jackson, and this is the Quarantini, and you can sign yourself off.
I got you. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Jawan M. Jackson, and this is Quarantini, and I am drinking my drink. Happy hour. Be safe. I love y'all so much. Until next time. Peace.
Jawan Jackson! Cheers! Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We love you so much, and we'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon. Bye, man.
I knew he was going to crush that.
That was so good.
Oh my gosh.
Get Jawan back on the radio.
Let's get
right
him a
now,
radio gig.
Before Broadway comes back.
Yeah, if anybody's out there and looking for new on-air talent, I mean, that's your man.
Yes, 100%.
What a talent. You guys, this was so fun. If you're just tuning in, you're late. You missed our super special guest bartender today from the Broadway casts of Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations.
And you missed
Motown
a
The Musical.
super fun game where Michael played a whole bunch of spooky ghost noises and he guessed all the answers correct.
Yeah, he's a star. If you had fun today, please do hit subscribe on this YouTube channel. There are 3 shows that come your way every week.
There are 3 shows.
You and I are really the finish line. So
we are.
Congrats on another week of Broadway-Talk Live's YouTube channel.
The OGs.
But it starts all over again this coming Monday with MT Trivia. It's Chris and Kevin Metzger-Timpson. They are live on Monday night at 9 o'clock with a super fun, my voice just cracked. I was so excited.
Super fun.
A super fun like Broadway game show. It is 3 rounds of Broadway-themed trivia. They challenge 2 Broadway guests to go head-to-head, and only one wins. Exciting. The stakes are super high, and it's very cutthroat, and it's super dramatic.
And we had a blast this past week on MT Trivia with Nick Rouleau and Will Blum.
Oh my God.
Former guests of our show.
Yeah. Not secret time, I think, because everyone knows. I sit backstage for that show, and I just sit here laughing hysterically. It is so funny. The MTs are so funny. Their guests are top notch. So it's a really good time. That's on Monday nights at 9 p.m.
Yes. And then on Tuesday nights, that was me trying to match your
Tuesday nights. What happens on Tuesdays, Dylan?
I think you do a show, right?
Me?
Yeah, you do a show with our favorite, one of our favorite, not our favorite drag queen, Jackie Cox. Good morning tonight. That's Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Again, right here on this network.
And then Dylan and I will be back next Thursday with an all-new 5:30 Quarantini. We'll be back with a new guest and a new drink, and who knows what else will happen.
Who knows what else will happen?
Nobody does.
Maybe the Wiggles will come back. We'll find out.
We'll find out. Until then, you guys, wash your hands, wear a mask. Call your mom. I don't know. We love you all.
You say wash your hands?
I
wash
did.
your hands. Okay, great. Just
These
watch them
drinks
again.
are delicious.
I'm like,
we'll see you next week. Thanks for spending happy hour with us.
Yes.
And we'll see you next time.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.